Just a normal, typical day in Japan. Lambda Delta and Bancastle's fight to the death had passed through its phase as a dynamic clash of fireworks. It was now a clash that was quiet and motionless. These two witches who possessed power on an entirely different level may have been truly equal in strength. The battle could only be resolved by mutual consent. If one of them lost interest or found some reason for wanting to lose, since both were putting their all into the fight without yielding a bit, they were absolutely and completely equal. Lambda Delta, I'm glad to have you as a friend. Damn it, just a bit longer. Just fall apart already, you stupid magic circle. Bella got irritated and punched the damn magic circle, but there was nothing he could do except continue to watch over it. After all, the only way to dissolve it was by waiting. However, the pair of them still felt relief, if only a little. Lambda Delta really was strong. Even in a battle this spectacular, she fought on an even footing. Now, if you consider how confident each side looked, she seemed to have a slight advantage in Bella's eyes. She would probably manage to buy them enough time. Angie would take the key and return to the Golden Land. They just had to endure a bit longer. However, they had no way of knowing what Lambda Delta's fate would be after this. She had disobeyed the Senate, the highest level of witches in existence. Something brutal probably awaited her. However, even knowing this, Angie had to step forward into the future without looking back. That was the single duty given to her, the Witch of the Future. Oni-chan, what's that? Something's coming towards us from a long way away. Huh? Crap, are they enemy reinforcements? Lambda Delta and Bernkastel were glaring at each other, so they didn't notice. Heading towards them from the distance were several emerald green glints. That light proved that they were enemies. But there's only a few of them. They won't be a match for Lambda Delta. All of the cats so far seemed like fish in a school, giving the impression that they'd be terrifying as a group, but not much of a problem by themselves. However, there was something different about the lights approaching them now. They were approaching in a beautiful order formation like a constellation. Bella quickly realized that this was something new. My Miko, isn't it about time to prepare the key? Oh. Just by her tone, Bella was able to tell how great a witch this was. The black cats that surrounded her in a graceful and systematic constellation were all wearing large capes with elegant designs. It looked as though great overlords from many worlds had been transformed into cats, leaving only their capes untouched. What Bella imagined was quite true. That was exactly what had happened. These were the overlords from many worlds that formed Featherine's personal guard. Their bodies took the form of cats merely as a sign of respect to their master, who took the form of a human. These were entirely different from the pack of wild cats that served Bernkastel. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, is it that time already? When holding a party, it's important to keep your guests waiting for a fitting amount of time. It is, however, not something I am particularly fond of. As she said this, her eyes flicked to Lambda Delta. The latter bowed hurriedly. Though Lambda Delta grinned, she was also sweating, her brow furrowed with tension. How long has it been, Lady Lambda Delta? It's a pleasure to see you, great Lady Aurora. This is no place to entertain one of your position. Did you get lost on the way to the party? If so, allow me to guide you there myself. That would be an honor, great Lady Aurora. Featherine Augustus Aurora, the legendary Great Witch. It is said that she surpassed the level of witches, becoming a creator, and that upon reaching this forbidden plane, she was cursed with a deadly ailment. However, in life, she once turned her pet cat into a witch. They say that the second witch wanders the sea of fragments endlessly, searching for any fragment that can revive her master from the pits of death called boredom, if only for a moment. And so the cat revived her master, revived the sacred witch who had reached heights none should reach. Just as witches look down at and mock humans from a high world, calling them pieces on a game board, so she looks down at and mocks the realm of witches from an even higher world, calling them pieces on a game board. If a witch's strength is measured by the height of the world they are capable of reaching, then she was like a witch come back from the realm of the gods, one who had touched the highest forbidden heights and survived. Was there any chance of winning against her? No. Lambda Delta wasn't able to choose either victory or defeat by her own will. My Miko. Would you mind playing with your friends some other time and getting back to work now? Prepare the key. Okay. The simple, naive way cats forget their errant pathways, their true charm. Don't you think so, Lady Lambda Delta? Lambda Delta didn't say anything but hung her head low. From this position, it seemed that the key's seal would dissolve at any second. However, Bancastle would probably find Battler and Angie before that. Once they got their hands on the key, they could leave this place immediately. Of course, this was assuming that they did so before Bancastle and Featherine found them. Bancastle mustn't be allowed to move from this spot. Looks like game over, Lambda. I am the Miko of the Great Witch Aurora. You haven't forgotten that the Witch of Theatergoing bestows her protection upon her reader Mikos, have you? Lambda Delta still stood slumped over without answering. The Witch of Theatergoing gave protection to her reader Mikos. If Lambda Delta attacked Bancastle, who was Aurora's Miko, then the Great Witch Aurora would follow her contract, prevent what she considered an attack against herself, and respond accordingly. Let's make a deal. What kind of deal? Where is Battler hiding? If you come clean, we'll let all of this slide. Is the Witch of Miracles afraid of a tiny little piece like Battler? It's because I'm the Witch of Miracles. I'll never forget that even a little pebble like him is capable of creating a miracle. After all, there's a little pebble who got super promoted into a Witch of Miracles. I'll ask one more time. Where is Battler? Too bad, Lambda. It looks like that's your answer. Bancastle turned her back on Lambda Delta. Then she told her master that she was leaving to prepare the key, and she started swimming towards the key room. If I let her go any further, she'll find Battler and Angie. Battler readied himself. This time it was his turn to become a sacrifice. Even though he was nothing more than a single pebble, he could still put out an eye. Oh, a candy firework exploded right in front of Bancastle. Lambda, you really are a moron. Lambda Delta. Now I've done it. Battler, Angie, the rest is up to you. Uh-oh. The cat overlords changed their formation, becoming a ferocious constellation that surrounded Featherine. Then each drew the most terrifying of magic servers from their respective worlds and began to chant. I am slightly confused, both by you, my Miko, and Lady Lambda Delta. What sort of sideshow is this? Looks like Lambda wants to stop me from going to get the key. Oh, and what would the point of that be, I wonder? If you still don't get the point, then you must be getting a bit tipsy, Featherine. Looks like you need to pick me up. Lambda Delta bluffed as well as she could. Her fingertips were shaking slightly. An attack against a Miko is considered to be an attack against her master. You should know this as well as anyone, correct? I know it. Going by that rule, it looks like the two of us are going to have to fight. Oh, have I or my Miko caused insult in any way? If so, then please accept my apologies. But could you tell me one thing? I didn't think you had a Miko at the moment. How long have you had one? As for that, I've got a ton of them already. 30 or 40, I think. Maybe even more. I love the Delta will handle any fight picked against one of my Mikos, no matter who the opponent is. All of them are certain that a happy ending will come. As the Witch of Certainty, I can't abandon people who work hard and believe with certainty like that. I can't say I dislike this tale of yours. It would be worthy of my viewing. However, I am not a spectator at the moment, but a performer. I know that you are my Miko's close friend, so I will give you one warning. Remove yourself from the stage. I will prepare a special seat for you in my audience seating. I've been thinking about which is more interesting, your tale or the one I've been watching. And your conclusion? Battler's tale is 100 times better. Sorry, but I'll be getting Best Supporting Actress this year. Hey you guys, you better vote for me in the last character popularity contest, okay? At least get me in the top 5, got it? Who are you talking to? As Lambda Delta pretended to joke around, she calmly focused on the one weak point she could see. If she had a chance for a single attack, then a 1 in a billion shot at victory existed. It was that horseshoe-shaped memory device floating around Featherine's head. Without that, she couldn't preserve her own existence. Destroying it was impossible, but if Lambda Delta could just jar it enough, she might be able to make it bug out. At least once in the past, Featherine's memory device had been damaged, and her personality and appearance had changed. Or she was aware of that herself, and probably wouldn't let that happen again, no matter what. Very well, Lady Lambda Delta. When you've finished your script, feel free to send it whenever you wish. The script is simple, just one line. The fantastic cute Lambda Delta summon took out the evil mastermind Aurora in a single shot. Foolish Lambda, I never realized how stupid you were. The cats need not interfere. I will personally reward Lady Lambda Delta for the courageous tale she has submitted. You will be granted a fitting tale and a fitting ending for your bravery. Feathery Augustus, Aurora! Lambda Delta summoned a magical power from her whole body and raised it in a mass above her head. Forgive me, but... Then the world's time stopped. Your script will not be used. After all, rather than time stopping, it was more like the flipping pages of a book had stopped. In this motionless world, closely packed letters appeared. The one writing the rest of the script is me. It was a tale that had been written up to this very moment. Hold on, who is... Feathering Augustus or Aurora? Lambda Delta summoned magical power from her whole body and raised it in a mass above her head. That was where the paragraph ended. In this frozen world, Featherine sat with her arms crossed. How troublesome. It's been so long since I've written a fight scene. How annoying to have to suddenly write up a development like this out of the blue. When I get stuck writing, I try to write in reverse. In other words, instead of starting at the beginning, I start at the end and go backwards from there. That way it's easier to set up foreshadowing and I can write the story with my vision for the end in mind. The only downside is that I have to suddenly start at the climax without setting up the story first. In the meantime, I'll start at the end of the fight and go back from there. Lady Lambda Delta, this is where you lose to me and die. As Featherine said, those words were added to the massive group of letters that filled the frozen world. However, she was starting from the end, but there was a large gap between the new words and the old ones. So how will you lose to me? You should probably have a heroic end to suit your bravery. How about this? Lambda Delta gets blasted away by something slammed against the bookshelf, and her limbs are snapped off as she dies and disappears into the darkness below. Yes, quite a flashy way to go. Good, for now that's how your final moments will be. The blanks in the outline Featherine spoke of were being filled up. At the same time, Lambda Delta's figure was wiped out. After crossing her arms and thinking again, Featherine pointed in a random direction. Lambda Delta appeared, blasted away by something, and slammed spread-eagled against the bookshelf Featherine had pointed at. Well, now I must write up the fierce battle that leads to this end, but as you can probably tell, I'm a little tipsy at the moment. I'll fill that part in later when I have some time to go over it nice and slowly. For now, let me off with this. I promise to add in a heroic fight to your lining later on. Featherine snapped her fingers. Lambda Delta had no idea what was going on. Before she could even blink, she was suddenly here, being slammed against a bookshelf. What is this? She couldn't comprehend the something that Featherine had killed her with. However, that was only natural. After all, Featherine herself hadn't decided what the something was. However, Lambda Delta did understand one thing. He was already dead. Streams of blood dripped from the corners of her mouth. Then lines of blood appeared on her wrists and ankles, her elbows and knees. She looked like a marionette doll of herself. Why kill me? Precisely, Lady Lambda Delta. Let me know if you have any good ideas. You monster! Still pinned against the bookshelf, Lambda Delta let her head slump. Her wrists, ankles, legs, arms, and neck. Nothing remained. It was all swallowed up by the darkness beneath them. A monster, she says. Quite a compliment for one such as I. Lambda Delta! Angie, don't look. You can't look. Shedding frustrated tears, Angie closed her eyes tight. She must not look. The witch of the future must not accept Lambda Delta's defeat. She hasn't kicked it yet. She was brave, and that's all we need to know. I know, Lambda Delta would never lose. Pop. At that moment, there was a slight sound, and the golden key that hung in the air shook. The seal had finally broken. Belle grabbed at it immediately. However, at exactly the same moment, a magical tremor spread through the vast key room. What? That tremor seemed to have shaken something inside my pocket. I stuck my hand in and found that the fragment Lambda Delta had given us to return to the Golden Land had shattered. Damn it, Lambda's fragment is... We were so close, too. Now there's nowhere to run. Pancastle! If Lambda had been a little cleverer, she probably could have bought you 5 more seconds. Then you would have taken that key and escaped to the Golden Land. Looks like the Miko suffers too when their master's a fool. Oh. Featherine quietly showed her surprise. To truly surprise her was no easy task. Is it Eva? The Witch of Miracles, who boasted that no one could even step on her shadow unless she wished it, fell. After taking Battler's right fist to her face, oh cool, she fell. Bancastle's body immediately split into dust and reconstructed itself in front of Battler, as though nothing had happened. However, she was holding her cheek. She couldn't undo the fact that she had been hit. For the first time in 100 years, she had let someone treat on her shadow without her consent. Her face was gradually filled with shock. Battler's couldn't be seen. His outstretched right arm was blocking it, so his expression couldn't be seen. What? Take it back. To take what back? She didn't let the next strike hit her. Bancastle vanished like mist, then reappeared a short distance away. However, Battler only missed by a hair's breadth. Not because she had intentionally made that happen, but for real. It hurts. Finally, she truly began to feel the pain of being punched in the goddamn face. For too many years, she had forgotten the very concept of pain. Very slowly, it was coming back to her. It hurts. Bancastle writhed in anguish, holding her cheek. That feeling, forgotten for centuries, seemed to be hitting home hard. Battler looked at her. Their eyes met. Once again, Bancastle remembered the emotion she had forgotten for hundreds of years. Does it hurt? I mean, she just said that like a million times, but sure, ask. The pain you caused by ridiculing my friend is greater than that. And then she shuddered. What Battler saw before his eyes was Bancastle shuddering for the first time in centuries. To Bancastle's eyes, it hadn't even looked like Battler rushing at her and punching. It was as though she had been sucked towards where he stood with his furious fist raised. When her eyes had opened wide in terror, Battler's massive fist had been all that she could see. Of course, he wasn't capable of hitting her. Bancastle was just like a shadow. She dodged by moving instantly and leaving an after image, but mere teleportation wasn't enough to escape from Battler's furious pursuit. True, trying to hit Baron was like enviously trying to hit the reflection of the moon on water with a stone. No matter how often you hit it, you can never smash the moon's reflection. However, Battler hit it, and again, over and over. To prevent the moon from showing on the water's surface again, the fiercely thrown pebbles and ripples across the water's surface. It broke through the moon's reflection, broke through the water's surface itself, leaving even the bottom of the pond bare, breaking through everything. A certain willpower broke through to a miracle. A backwards kick that Battler shot out without even looking behind him split through empty space. In that space, Bancastle reappeared with a foot in her gut. Take back your insults against your brave friend. The Witch of Miracles fell. For the second time she fell. Once it would have been a miracle. Things that happen more than once aren't miracles anymore. Unless the fact that they're happening twice is a miracle as well. Bancastle understood. Battler was capable of hitting her. Then she fell, was slammed against the floor, got up on her hands and knees and vomited. He threw her violently over and over. Her face was covered with pain and vomit and tears and snot. Then she looked up at Battler with a furious expression and howled. And she wasn't howling at Battler. Aurora! Umineko's getting beaten up. What are you standing around watching for? Take him out. Forgive me, but I am kind of busy here writing Lady Lamade's final moments right now. I cannot come to your aid. Why don't you all give her a hand? Pellegrina's guard, the cat overlords, now formed a different constellation. Then each drew a magic circle and began chanting. You know what? Each one of these cats is the final form of a main character, each from a game like yours. Everyone acted the main part in their heroic tale, and the story of their bravery was given honor, allowing them to become Aurora's guards. Each one fought for the very existence of their country, their planet, their universe. What about you? Best you've just been playing around with your little sister and some imaginary witch. These main characters are on a totally different level from you. Eat this and die. Take it to the gods, Scott. The many spectacular magical spells depicted the beginning of the universe, the creation of planets, the destruction of the universe's end, all in an instant. After that, not a speck of dust should have remained. However, when the smoke cleared, there was a person standing there. It stood there with its hand in its pocket and its head hanging quietly. Its face was in shadows and couldn't be seen. Oni-chan? What the hell? Batla seemed to be completely uninjured. Not only were his clothes not burned, but his hair hadn't even been disturbed. What the hell? Stupid cats, that didn't work at all. The cat overlords silently shook their heads, sending a short report to their master. Endless night. What did you say? It seems that no one can interfere with their tail. Forgive me, my Miko. It would appear that the cats have reached their limit. And you for yourselves, overlords of many worlds. Weren't you all once main characters on different game boards? This is the best you can do. You're pathetic. The cats knew, from the very beginning. They had known that they wouldn't be able to do anything with him as the main character of this game board. My Miko, creating a tale on the game board is a privilege granted only to the game master. That has already been established, so I must respect that rule, being the mere writer that I am. I shall return to my position as a spectator. You useless master! Batla, I apologize for the insults your friend suffered at the hands of my Miko, and I see that the right to weave your game belongs to you, the game master. You shall weave your own game. That is as it should be. However, my Miko is now a game master in your game. It seems the two of you opened the game board at the same time. It is rare to have two masters for a single game, but this miracle pleases me. After all, I can rest assured that this will make for a proper final game for you both. Stand up, Ben Castle. I see. So you're saying that if two game masters are going to fight, they have to do it by the rules of the game. Why didn't you just say that in the first place? Ben Castle slowly got to her feet and made her body melt away like mist. Then she appeared in the air once again, facing Balor. Very well, I'll fight by the rules of your game board. However, I'm not as easygoing as you all are, so I'll start with a short-tempered, overwhelming puzzle and end this in an instant. Who will be my opponent? I don't mind if you both take me on at once. Oni-chan, I'll fight too. Stay back. Why? Watch from there, and this time understand what I wanted to teach you. Oni-chan, are you happy with this, Aurora? I shall be your witness. If you defeat my Miko, I promise to return you all to the Golden Land. Assuming the Golden Land still exists, that is. I believe in that. That's right. Beato and all the others won't lose. In that case, we'd better start with the bad news. Erika, you can make your report now. Come. When Bancastle snapped her fingers, Erika appeared with a bow. Pardon me for the interruption, my master. Sorry, Erika. How inconsiderate of me to keep you waiting when you came bearing good news. No problem. Rejoice, my master. I have come to inform you of the complete destruction of the Golden Land. Liar! The Golden Land has been totally destroyed. I'm here to report that it's collapsed and fallen to the sea of nothingness. Not just the humans, but the illusions as well have been completely annihilated. Liar! I won't believe it. Then allow me to make you believe it. Take this, my master. Erika humbly presented an object wrapped in cloth. It shone with a golden light. Is it the pipe? What's this? A golden apple? Oh, not the pipe. This is the heart of Beatrice, master of the Golden Land. Beato! Bancastle pinched it between two fingers, held it aloft, and gazed at it. Even like this, it's still beating. You're so cute, Beatrice. The game board that you are might be opened again by someone. You still believe that, don't you? It's okay, Oni-chan. We did see Beato get defeated. This is some sort of trick they're using on us. A trick to make us lose our morale. Or maybe it's a trick of Beato's. She changed herself to pretend that she's been defeated. There's no way that Beatrice, that everyone, that the Golden Land could be destroyed. That's true. If the Witch of the Future believes that, you might be able to make it so. So let me show you. Look closely, Witch of the Future from 1998. Bandcastle threw the golden heart into the air like an apple. Then with a blood-red blade of the size that appeared in her hand, she split it. Beatrice died in October of 1986. Therefore, the Golden Land she created was completely destroyed. Your family that was kept alive in the Golden Land was destroyed along with it. Your father, mother, and of course Bella will never return to you again and will never speak your name again. The Witch of the Future has the power to interpret things how she pleases and override what happened. However, there's just one fact that she can't override, no matter how much she struggles. And that is death. You cannot overcome any concept of death, be it physical or mental. It is the single blade of truth, with which witches of the past can strike down witches of the future. Hang in there, Angie. But... You decided to accept it, didn't you? You decided to live on even if no one came back alive, didn't you? I know, but... Even so, a tiny sliver of hope had remained inside Angie's heart. Despite everything, if she was favored by some miracle, maybe someone would come home after all. It doesn't matter when. It could be 10 years later or 50 years later. It doesn't even matter if they've forgotten my face. I believed that someone might come back someday, and I decided to live with that tiny hope in my heart. Even though I accepted everyone's death, even though I saw it in the book of the single truth, I still thought that it wouldn't be so bad to believe in a miracle just a little. A miracle you believe in even though you know it won't happen is hope. So the witch who knew that miracles don't occur had ruthlessly torn that hope away. Don't cry. I know, but even the big brother you're crying to right now is already dead. Oni-chan isn't dead, he's here. Right here. Don't cry, Angie. But... Don't cry. At Battle's shout, Angie bit back her tears. Why does it matter? What do we of the past mean to you living in the future? Angie, what sort of witch were you? Huh? Whether we are alive or dead means nothing to you. That's not true. I want you to live. It's not it. You can go beyond life and death, right? Angie didn't understand what he was telling her. So, stunned into silence, she frantically considered what her brother might be trying to say. Betla slowly lifted his face and stared at Bandcastle. And you aren't a witch. You're a reaper. That's right. I have the sickle that reaps all hope and miracles. So I must be what you say. You're a reaper who stole away the hope that kept Angie alive and lured her towards death. You're the one who threw about the truth of the past, stealing the future from Angie's eyes and forcing her to look only at the past. And you're the one who thrust the hope-crushing single truth in front of her, gently pushing her from behind as she, of her own accord, took that step from the skyscraper's roof off into the world of nothingness. But now I'll free Angie from the spell that you represent. Angie won't be trapped by the curse of the past anymore. She'll step forward into the future, but not into the emptiness of the abyss that you're trying to lure her into. Angie will live strong in the future starting in 1998. Humans are wretched creatures who walk into the future while staring back into the past. That's why they easily plummet into pitfalls and flip over like comical fools. Come, Bandcastle. A witch of the past like you can't block the radiance of the future. Yes, let's go. Let's follow the rules of your stupid game. I'll give you some closed room riddles, but since I'm short-tempered, heavy-handed, and easily bored, I'll give you all of them at once. Bandcastle spread her hands, and it seemed as though a halo or angel wings were spreading out behind her. Each of the countless rays that spread out from her were the blue streaks of closed-room mystery blades. Bandcastle, who had traveled the sea of fragments for many, many years, had gathered these countless closed-room mysteries as souvenirs from all over the place. All of those rays twisted at once and aimed towards Battler. It was as though infinite giant snakes had turned their heads to stare at him. That's a terrifying image. If you fail to shoot down even a single puzzle, then this is goodbye. I'm not as forgiving as Beato, who gave you until October 5 at midnight to give your answer. If you don't answer immediately, you'll die. In other words, this was no mystery. This wasn't an intellectual game, but a merciless assault. Die. All at once, hundreds of guided lasers known as mysteries shot at Battler. The complex geometric figure drawn by those blue lasers was nothing but divinely beautiful. Each one was a mystery. Trying to solve each one in this oppressive hailstorm would be like threading a storm of approaching needles. Battler flew freely through this vast space, dodging the beautiful blue streets of mystery as he shot them down one after another. The entirety of the mystery knowledge he had built up before this day told him the answer to each puzzle. Each time his eyes glowed with the answer, one of the mysteries shattered. However, each mystery was only one of hundreds. This hardly rose to the level of opposition or resistance. Oni-chan, it's impossible, run! There's no unsolvable mystery, just like there is no inescapable fate. Oni-chan! Watch, Angie. Don't miss what I'm trying to show you. By now, the bundle of mysteries looked like one giant snake with blue streaming behind it. Battler skillfully dodged it, precisely splitting his many fangs off one by one, even though he knew his resistance was useless, like trying to pick up all the grains of sand on a beach one by one. Not bad. Classic mysteries were your specialty, right? Then what about twists on the genre? Let's see if you can handle more and more mysteries from all times and places. Even though Battler was still fighting, the giant snake rings appeared behind Ben once more, and they gave birth to 7 more huge snakes. It now looked like a great dragon with its 7 heads. Listen to me, Battler. It's true that you're a very avid reader and an expert on the mystery genre, but you're still young. There's a limit to how many books and mysteries you could have read. Learn that this world is filled with countless riddles and tricks that you've never heard of. Oni-chan, you can't do this anymore. Please, just run away. You can't beat Bancastle. Battler's expression remained calm. However, his whole body was covered with sweat and he was breathing hard. It was clear that he couldn't overcome this onslaught, though Battler himself refused to admit it. Battler wiped away his sweat and fixed his gaze on the 8 snake heads that surrounded him in 3 dimensions. Angie, you believed that someone from your family would come back someday, lived that way for 12 years, and then lost your spirit. For a time you surrendered to the miracle that refused to happen. In that case, if I want to see you off as you try and step forward into the future, I mustn't surrender to a miracle myself. That's right, but I'll still harvest your miracles and hopes, all of them without mercy. What was now an 8-headed dragon opened its 8 jaws. It looked for weak points from all angles, hoping to swallow Battler in a single gulp. He wouldn't be able to dodge any longer. Angie-chan, if you're expecting a miracle, then I have some bad news for you. Beato has now been completely destroyed, and it's even been announced in red. Do you know what that means? Since Beato has been destroyed, the Golden Land has been destroyed as well. That means that everyone has vanished. In other words, you no longer have any friends who can conveniently show up and save you from this pinch. Aren't we forgetting Eva? I'm still waiting for... I kept that in my mind all the time. I'm still waiting for her to goddamn show up already. So, don't think I forgot that. Beato has been destroyed, and that's been confirmed in red. Therefore, no one else can come to rescue them. Even Eva was a resident of the Golden Land. Uh-oh. After bravely breaking the key's seal early on, she had probably hidden away somewhere. However, now that Beato had been destroyed, all of the residents of the Golden Land had met the same fate as ice under the sun. Any faint hopes Angie might have had that Eva was hiding in the shadows, ready to save them from this final pinch, it's like the writer knows what I'm about to think, had been completely crushed from the moment Bancastle smashed that golden heart. There was no one left to save them from this crisis. She couldn't hope for the appearance of any new factor that might save her brother. And what about Angie herself? She could only watch from where she stood. If I help, will I be able to bring about some kind of miracle? But I don't know that much about the mystery genre. I've only watched Beato's game fragments, gathering some basic training on how to fight. At best I can avoid slowing him down. But I can't protect my brother. But I can't just watch. Oni-chan, let me fight too. Stay back. Just keep watching and think. Think about what? Go back to how you felt at the very beginning, back when you were 6 years old, when it all started. How I felt when I was 6? You've lived for 12 years looking for the truth, but that's not your real greatest wish. My greatest wish? We prepared this final game to protect that wish and that hope. Unfortunately, you wasted that chance, so you'll have to abandon that hope as you step forward into the future. But even so, if there's strength in your heart, you can still have it. Have what? Remember your very first wish. Even after learning the single truth, remember this single truth. Even after learning the heartless truth that everyone is dead and no one will come home, remember your very first wish. Oni-chan! There was a cataclysmic flash, as brilliant as the birth of the sun. All of the palely glowing snakes ran through Battler. He was stained red, surrounded with a cloud of blood. Then he stumbled, and in the end he looked at Angie. Angie couldn't say anything in response. The light in Battler's eyes faded, and slowly his body began to fall. It reached the ground and gently landed like something settling on the ocean floor. Angie rushed toward him and saw the last expression that would ever cross her dead brother's face. His eyes were open wide, filled with an unwavering determination until the very last second. Was Angie-san ever that good at mysteries? She's nothing compared to Battler. The waving snakes raised their heads and surrounded Angie. Angie had no blades to fight with. She could only cling to her brother's dead face, saying his name over and over. This is a surprisingly boring ending. I guess that's checkmate. The 8 snake heads all attacked at once. Angie held her brother's dead face, thinking about his final words. My very first wish, it could only be one thing. That everyone would come home. That fueled my life for 12 years until I finally wore out and abandoned my own hope. In exchange for the hope I had abandoned, I began searching for the truth. Then at the end of the truth, I was forced to see a brutal ruthlessness that I didn't need to know about. And as a result, I was faced with the true despair of knowing that no one would come home. That final hope, which I still felt attached to even after abandoning it, was crushed. The single truth. If only I didn't know that, I might still be able to hold on to that faint hope. But now... You can still have it. If there's strength in your heart, you can still have it. I don't know who's talking. Herself? Remember your very first wish. Maybe it's Super Okonogi, coming with a honking car. Or it's just Eva after all. No, Bella was coughing. Impossible. His whole body had been pierced and he had been completely dead. For him to cough would be too much of a miracle to be possible. What the? Why? Why? Bella died. So why was he revived? I'm back, bitches. Bella rose to his feet slowly. Though blood still dribbled from his mouth, his expression was fearless. However, Angie didn't stand up. She kept sitting, her head lowered. Well, that was a nice warm-up. Shall we get started, Bandcastle? Time for round 2. What in the... Why, my master? The dead can't revive. Impossible. Bella died. How can you revive? Oni-chan is alive. I've used the red truth. Hello. I've announced that Bella died, right? So why? How did he come back to life? Even if the whole world says he died, I'll be the one person in the world who believes Oni-chan is alive, and someday he'll come back to me. That's right. As long as you hold on to that hope, none of your miracles will ever be destroyed.
How dare you stand before the Witch of Miracles and claim to understand that? I'll swallow them, grind them up, erase both siblings now.
You can't erase us. Even if the whole world refuses to accept that miracles will happen if we continue to believe. The 8 wiggling snakeheads transformed into a massive whale jaw and swallowed everything.
There will be no miracle. You can't open your heart to anyone who exists, so die.
You're wrong. Everyone will protect me. The cruel whale of mystery that tried to swallow everything was gouged deeply by a massive wedge. This deeply pounded wedge could only be used by those who had talent and a deep love for mysteries. The fuck?
That trick's such a cliche. I read and got bored of that one ages ago.
The woman who stood back to back with Battler launching stakes was very clearly.
Beato, how? I announced your death with the red truth.
And what is the red truth of yours?
The red truth is absolute, a perfect truth which no one can overturn no matter how hard they try.
Even if the whole world gets together and denies the truth about my family, even if that's forced in front of my eyes as the single truth, I won't acknowledge it. After all, Angie slowly rose to her feet. Around her, the shapes of people slowly appeared and they also rose to their feet. One after another, a whole crowd of them. They were Angie's family, her relatives, everyone from Rock-Konjima. That wasn't all. Everyone from the Golden Land and all of the illusions appeared, and following Angie's lead, they rose to their feet. Then all of them glared at Bandcastle. Even if the whole world denies my hope, I won't abandon it. I won't abandon my certain hope that everyone's alive. And I found something. I found how I'll live as a witch.
You weren't just a witch of the future, just a powerless witch who could only shed tears of regret for the past.
I'm the Golden Witch Angie Beatrice. I am the Golden, the Endless, and the Witch of Resurrection.
You found it, haven't you, Angie?
Yeah. Thanks, Oni-chan. After all those long years, I finally found it. I always knew you'd be able to find it.
Thanks, Oni-chan. I've understood what your last game was trying to show me. This and pure stupid delusions. I can't accept something stupid like this.
Everyone will be with me for eternity, no matter how many times people try to kill them with the red truth. I'll reject it. Everyone will be revived from me, no matter how many times it takes. I am Angie, Witch of Resurrection. Huh? Hold on. Okay. I hope the stream didn't cut off for you. I hope it was just on my end. But Twitch was suddenly telling me there was a network error. Tiny blip, you had to refresh. Okay, I guess that's fine. So I just hope nobody missed any longer parts. Okay, it must have been something on Twitch itself, because if my internet connection really had gone away, then the whole stream would have, like, OBS would have told me I lost connection. But that didn't seem to be the case. Okay.
Disappear stupid illusions. I can't accept like this.
Everyone will be with me for eternity, no matter how many times people try to kill them with the red truth. I'll simply reject it. Everyone will be revived from me, no matter how many times it takes. I am Angie, Witch of Resurrection. Your red truth can't lay a finger on my world. So, could you say that she just got superpowers from being delusional? Angie, or rather Angie and her family and her friends, all fired of golden streaks at once. They were the same as the marks left by Benkatsu's great snakes. However, the glow inside these was gold. Then they wriggled, combined into one single mass, and transformed into an eagle all year, that now had 2 wings. It wasn't one wing anymore. Thanks to Angie's absolute willpower, the golden eagle had gained the wing it needed to fly into the future. Those spread wings made Bandcastle and the whale shrink back. The Yoshinomiya eagle never looks back.
and it never gives up.
The golden eagle easily swallowed the blue whale with its wings, grinding it to bits. And it didn't let the whale's master escape either. It was now Ben Castle's turn to run. Ben Castle didn't fight the golden eagle. She couldn't. In this world of angels where even the red truth couldn't hurt anyone anymore, what sort of attack could affect her? She frantically ran this way and that, throwing one wedge of red truth after another at the Uchidomiya family.
Uchidomiya Kinzo's dead! Uchidomiya Claus is dead! Uchidomiya Natsui is dead!
She repeated this over and over again, but no one fell down. Angie wouldn't accept it, so they couldn't pierce anyone.
Is this sort of endless night even possible? Even the red truth doesn't work. Just what is this gold truth? What kind of gold truth could defeat red truth?
A believing heart. This is our consensus. Your red truth can't pierce any part of the truth that we all acknowledge and share. So long, Baron Gustl. This time, it's really checkmate.
I won't accept something like this. I won't.
Shouldn't she get superpowers now as well if she just rejects her defeat? The massive golden eagle finally swallowed Baron Gustl whole. It then slammed into the vast ceiling, and there was an incredible explosion accompanied by an earthquake. From the cracked ceiling, along with many falling chips, a single black cat plummeted and slammed against the floor. Erika ran after it, repeatedly calling out to her master, hugging it. Then she realized that it was still breathing, and simultaneous expressions of relief and shock rose to her face.
Don't worry, I won't let you lay your finger on my truth, but in the same way I won't lay a finger on your truth.
She looks like a wet mop. Huh?
Call it a good scolding, free of charge. Beato, don't act too cozy with my big brother. I still haven't accepted your relationship, darling. It was quite bold of you to revive me, fool, but it's too late. My charming subordinates and I shall torment you until the day you die, and I'll make you watch Bella flirt with me every day.
What? Oh, that's pretty convenient. Looks like this resurrection magic has an off switch.
What? Wait.
Beato kept appearing and disappearing like a light bulb, turning on and off. Angie seemed to be enjoying herself.
What's up? Well, Battler, Angie's being mean.
Go easy on her, Angie.
Sure, if you say so, Oni-chan.
Angie, incredible, you!
Angie-sama, congratulations on becoming a Witch of Resurrection. This way we'll all be with you forever.
Yeah, that's right. We're all here. The anti-magic toxin doesn't matter one bit. You'll be with me for all eternity. Nice, Angie. Well said. Everyone surged forward, squishing Angie. They tried tossing her into the air, but dropped her onto her butt and everyone laughed. Angie looked a bit resentful, but when her brother lent her a hand, she got up and joined the circle of smiles. A quiet applause greeted them. Featherine, their witness, had acknowledged their victory and was clapping for them.
Splendidly done, Lady Angie Beatrice. In celebration of this miracle, I bestow upon you the title of Lady. The tale you weaved was quite entertaining. There is no need to be so hostile. I am congratulating you.
Featherine smiled serenely. Then the cat overlords broke their positions in their constellation and lined up behind her. It was clear that this was not only a peaceful action, but part of a solemn ceremony.
You have defeated my Miko, and I thank you for sparing her life. As you can see, she was my cute pet cat who never ceased to save me from boredom. If she died, boredom would overcome me as well.
The true strength of this being, who referred to Baron Gustl as a pet cat, had already been made clear during her fight with Lambda Delta. Even so, Angie spoke.
I won't forgive you for killing Lambda Delta. My, that doesn't sound like the words of a Witch of Resurrection. Can you not revive her whenever you wish? Huh? I can revive her? It's okay. I'm sure that Lady Lambda Delta has been revived somewhere thanks to your power. There's no need to worry. Indeed. She has already been moved to the audience seating I prepared for her. Do not fear. I shall take good care of her. Really? That's wonderful.
Angie finally relaxed and let the tension leave her whole body.
Well now, Battler, you are now the sole game master of your final game.
True, the cat of yours looks like she's out of the running.
Perhaps you should carry on with the final ceremony of your game. My Miko is as forgetful as a cat, but she can sometimes be as persistent as one. I suggest getting it over with quickly.
Yeah, okay, I'll follow your advice there.
I shall be your witness and record a detailed account of it all.
The final ceremony, so even this game is about to end. Battler nodded silently. Then he stepped out from the crowd and motioned for Angie to follow him. As Angie passed by each member of the Shidomiya family, they cheered her on, giving her words of encouragement. Battler took out the golden key and handed it to Angie. It now had the same glint it had possessed when he had first given it to her. Then two doors appeared out of thin air on either side of them. They had a stately design, making the importance of this choice clear.
Am I supposed to pick one without any hints?
Of course not. I'll give you a hint. By now it should be an easy puzzle. A simple puzzle with two answers, and you'll choose your answer by opening one of the doors. Kinda scared.
I see. Okay. So this is a continuation of the Halloween party. I fell asleep during that party, didn't I? I'm glad to finally wrap that up properly.
Beato, come forward.
After all, you fell asleep before you got to my puzzle. I'm glad I now have a chance to tell it. Sorry about that. It sounds like it'll be pretty tough.
You'll be fine, Angie.
I wonder about that. Prepare yourself, it's a tough one.
Calm down, Angie. It's an easy puzzle. Don't you remember the first thing your brother told you about how to choose the best possible option?
Battler, you're giving too many hints. This is the triumphant return of Lady Angie, a witch of the future. All you have to do is watch over her.
True. Then I'll hand it over to Beato. I'm counting on you.
Indeed. Then let us begin. Okay.
Angie gulped and stared up at the witch's face. The witch held out her left hand, bringing it close to Angie's face. Then she slowly spread her fingers.
Look carefully at my palm. I'm not hiding anything, correct? Yeah, there's nothing there. Watch closely. I'll make a fist. And then stretch out my index finger.
She stretched out her index finger and held it right in front of Angie's eyes.
Watch the tip of my finger closely. Ready? It'll be fast.
The witch rapidly lifted her index finger high into the air, pointing at the heavens. Just as Angie looked up to see the finger raised high, it swung down as though trying to dodge her gaze. In that manner, up, down, left, right, then left again. Then it did the Konami code. Angie, feeling as though she'd lose if she couldn't keep up with the fingertips, swung her face this way and that, looking serious. The witch's hand moved faster and faster. Angie didn't lose track of it. Then after the high pointing finger was swung down, all of a sudden, the index finger curled up again, and the hand was held in a simple fist.
Ready, I'm going to open my hand.
The witch slowly opened her right fist. And there was a cutely wrapped candy.
Got it? Yeah. Was this a trick or magic? That is my puzzle for you.
Go ahead, Angie. Give your answer. Is this a trick or magic?
I know what the answer is.
I'm a bit... I know it was said that this was easy, but I'm actually completely uncertain what really is the correct choice. I mean, obviously it said that the left hand and then the right hand, so obviously it's a trick. But am I thinking too deeply about this when I say that the whole point of the scene just now was to kind of deny the tricks and just believe in the magic so the resurrection works? I mean, she just pretty much turned into a witch of illusions, so to speak, as Simon said so accurately. So I don't know how to decide which one is okay, because a trick would be the correct answer to me, and I would That's what I want to click now. But on the other hand, we just had the whole stuff about how it's all how just denying the whole yeah, just rejecting everything and just believing in magic made it possible to revive everything. So in that sense, magic should be the correct answer. So I guess it has to be magic after all. But I kind of want to know what happens if I say trick then. Because if you want to be strict about it, it was obviously a trick. So here goes the game over screen. If your answer is magic, open this door. If it's a trick, then open that door. I had already decided upon my answer. This is my answer. I walked over the door that represented the answer I had chosen. Then I put the golden key into the keyhole and turned to face everyone. Was that wrong? Should I reload? I mean, I guess it's gotta be magic after all.
Yoshinomiya Eagle never looks back. That's right, sorry.
I gripped the key tightly and twisted. I mean, I'm guessing that's wrong because magic would have made more sense considering the whole scene before it. But, like, will it let me know that was wrong, or will it just continue now and I won't even notice that I got the bad ending or something? Then the key in the door flashed brilliantly and slowly faded away. Beyond the door was a strangely colored space. If I step into this, I'll reach the future I chose. Before taking that single step, I spoke without turning back.
The Yoshinomiya Eagle never turns back, so I won't turn around, but I'll say this. Thank you, everyone. But this isn't goodbye. I'll always be with you all.
Yeah. You won't turn back, but we'll always be standing behind you.
That's not what I mean. Despite it all, I still believe. I'm positive that everyone will come back.
Angie.
That is good. Angie, I look forward to the day when we all meet again.
Angie, my adorable granddaughter, we may be away for some time. Here, don't forget this. It's your prize from that quiz party.
A gold butterfly flew over my shoulder, landed on my palm, and turned into a Beatrice doll.
This was lying next to me when I woke up on the sofa, wasn't it? This was my prize.
Take it back to the future with you and treasure it.
Thanks, everyone.
I took a step forward into the future. I won't say goodbye, so see you later. We'll always be together. A strong wind blew through my hair. My nose was filled with the smell of the sea. I must have been standing still for a very long time. This is a point cutting through the sea. I was standing on the bow of a boat. I was still holding that thing.
Lady, if you stand around there too long, you'll freeze.
Amakusa, so this is...
Captain Kawabata's face peered out at her.
You can see it now. That's the old Umineko family dog.
Whoa.
Not even a trace of it left.
I see. So I've come back here. It's been a really long daydream. No, a long and windy side trip.
No matter what sort of tales are woven or written about the past, they have nothing to do with my tale of the future. I swore to live life looking only at the future without turning back. If swearing that has a purpose, then this hasn't all been just a daydream. And besides, I've brought many things back with me from that long side trip. Some of those are even immediately useful.
But yeah, this isn't going to do me much good.
I threw a Beatrice doll into the ocean.
What was that?
My regrets. I've shed my old shell.
So with old Wakajima right in front of you, you're having a change of heart?
That's not what I meant. I mean, I've had enough of being human.
I won't waste that long journey. I now have a new way to live, and that isn't as the human called Yoshinomiya Angie. I am reborn.
Captain, sorry, but would you mind leaving for a second?
Sure, whatever you say.
Captain Kawabata went down into the driver's, area.
What is it, lady? Why the troubled face?
I feel like taking a step into a new life.
You already have.
True. If I could sell off all the Yoshinomiya family wealth that was burdening me, maybe donating it to some charity, that would be a huge relief. Then I'd finally be able to escape from the shell called Ushidimiya Ainji.
It seems a waste of all that money. You could do anything you want with it.
Who cares? My point is that I don't need it.
That may be true. Then again, not everything that you'd be selling off belongs to you exclusively. For example,
Are you talking about the Ushidimiya group stock?
that's right. They may be a little more than scraps of paper to you, but doing something like that could share to the whole company. I don't think my boss could bear to have that happen.
Yeah, I know. It's like that for the Sumaderas and President Okonogi alike. There are plenty of people who are in a tough spot because they can do as they please.
There's no doubt that you're a VIP, Angie son. Wouldn't it be better to chill out and hide away for now and just hold off on doing anything flashy?
What would be the fastest and most convenient way to prevent this VIP from doing as she pleases, I wonder?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, we could break out the drinks, tell each other our deepest secrets, and...
Anyone could guess that the final destination of my journey is Rokkanjima, and right now Rokkanjima is completely uninhabited. There's no one there. No one to see or to hear. This is the perfect day for a closed room.
Well, yeah, that may be true.
The Sumadera family is chasing me, that you've managed to barge into President Okonogi's building with perfect timing. Someone leaked the fact that I was there.
Are you saying my boss sold you out? Then why would he give you a bodyguard?
Since he doesn't know what sort of whims I'm going to act on, President Okonogi wants to have both the Sumadera family and me indebted to him. That way he can sell information about me, let me slip away by a hair and keep track of my whereabouts, putting both me and the Sumadera family in his debt while keeping a trump card in his hand.
Yeah, definitely, overthinking things there.
Amakusa wore a forced smile, trying to smooth things over. We can be sure that the Sumadera family is chasing me. My actions are being intentionally leaked to them.
Then we'll bump into each other on Rokkanjima.
Then we'll bump into each other on Rokkanjima. I will be killed by them. After that, you will kill the Sumadera hitmen, and President Okonogi will have a trump card to use in negotiations with the Sumaderas. If I die, the Ushidimiya group will be stable for the time being. Plus, they'll be able to draw the line with the Sumadera family. On the other side, the Sumadera family itself will be able to neatly do away with Aunt Kasumi, the leader of their over-enthusiastic radical faction. Both sides will finish their bargaining with the draw and everyone will be happy.
Phew, that's a pretty interesting story you've thought of there.
That gold bag you brought with you, I've had a look at what's inside. Are you planning to start a war or something with all those guns? But it had a sniper rifle in it. Would a bodyguard who's always by my side really need something like that?
Well, you never know what might happen.
Why would a bodyguard who works best when traveling light choose to abandon his position for a whole day to get a gun like that and right before we leave for Rokkanjima?
Lady, you're overthinking this, okay?
When I reach Rokkanjima, you'll suggest that I go visit the place they died or something, getting me on my own. That's the bait. The bait to lure in Sumadera, Kasumi and the others waiting for me on Rokkanjima. After that, you'll use that ridiculously huge gun to round them up. At the end,
I guess that's what happened at the end of episode 4. But what's wrong with rounding them up? Isn't that what a guard's supposed to do?
in addition to a cutting-edge sniper rifle, you also had a modern German submachine gun.
Those are really handy. No matter how many people the Sumaderas have, I could clean them all up, no trouble.
There was one more, a handgun. Even though the sniper rifle and the submachine gun were the best and the newest models, the handgun alone was bad up and old-fashioned. See?
Angie pulled the handgun out and pointed it at Amakusa. Cut it out? This isn't funny.
A handgun is something you're always supposed to have on your person, right? So why would you go get a second handgun and such an unusually old one? One theory can explain this.
They were probably going to place it on her.
What if it's the same kind of gun Sumadera Kasumi and the others are using?
This is a Tokarev, a gun once used by the Soviet military, which has got pretty popular in the Japanese underground. It's exactly the sort of weapon that the Sumaderas might be using. I guess it's still Angie?
Also, having Sumadera Kasumi die would be convenient for the Sumadera family as well. They could have exchange information on their end as well. Therefore, it's possible that you knew beforehand that the Sumadera hitmen would be using Tokarevs.
Amakusa was speechless. Was he speechless because this was all true, or because it was done by the determination with which Angie pointed that gun at him?
The plan that all of you made together. It was to use me as bait to lure Sumadera Kasumi to an uninhabited island, setting it up so that both sides appear to finish each other off, and settling everything nice and neat for both President Okonogi and the Sumadera family.
A single line of cold sweat dripped on Amakusa's forehead, with the wind whipping through her hair, Angie spoke coldly. Just by the presence of his handgun, see how far Shinomiya Angie's reasoning has taken her. What do you think, everyone?
You haven't taken the safety off.
I know. Tokarevs don't have a safety. Oh shit. Amakusa tried to dive behind cover, but he couldn't outrun a bullet. It shot into his gut, making him double over in pain. Aww. Angie, who knew that he had a gun hidden in his pocket, then eliminated his chances of a counterattack. Blood spurted from Amakusa's forehead, and he did not close his eyes again. The captain gonna come back and be like, what the fuck? There's a perfect certain way to confirm someone's death without a doctor, and it's the easiest one in the world. You... Kawabata stuck his head out and his face went pale when he saw the gruesome scene on the deck. This time, Angie pointed the barrel of the gun at his forehead. Before we left, you said you needed a bit more time to get the boat ready. However, if you've been bought, then we can say for sure that you were buying time so that Sumadera Kasumi could set up her ambush on Murakkanjima. I have no idea what you're talking about. Your cat box, inside of which is a Kawabata who was bought and betrayed me, and a Kawabata who hasn't betrayed me. Now then, how can I kill the one who betrayed me? Stop! Don't shoot! I just have to shoot the whole cat box to death. Oh, I guess that works. The boat's owner slumped over backwards and fell. Then with a second bullet, she performed a perfect examination of his corpse. She had survived. Surely she had survived the web-like conspiracy that had been wrapped up around her so cleverly. Angie returned to the bow of the boat, faced the strong winds head-on, and peered into the future in front of her. The boat, whose owner was gone, headed towards the endless horizon, on and on in a straight line. She prayed that the truth she truly desired to reach lay before her. Then she heard the sound of clapping. The sound of clapping on a boat where Amakusa and the captain were no more. However, Angie didn't look surprised. She calmly and slowly turned around. Also, I know it's past 11. I'll stop soon. Splendid reasoning, Comrade Angie. My fellow witch of truth, Angie Beatrice. Oh, you're here, Erika. Anytime someone wants to expose the truth, you'll find me there. Hey, Erika. What? The boat had already passed by Rokkanjima. The island silhouette was now off in the distance. The boat headed towards the endless horizon, continuing on its endless journey. The new Witch of Truth announced the beginning of this endless journey to her fellow witch. I'll carve out my future in my own way. Sounds splendid. Good, though. At the end, will there be a truth for me to find? Just what sort of truth could you be looking for after all this? You're right. I know that the truth isn't worth anything. And there's one more thing I've figured out. What's that? That bewildered look on Amakusa's face when his scheme was exposed. That was pretty good. Good though. I see. So I guess that was the bad ending. So tomorrow we will continue and we will check out the magic ending. And then we still have the tea parties, which I'm still hoping will answer a few more questions I personally have. But don't say if they do. I just want to be surprised myself. Also, we still need to get the fucking Uminekos back. At the end of the game, if there's not some Uminekos nakuing around, I'm gonna be sad. Also, I hope you liked my mixing of English and Japanese right there. Some Uminekos nakuing around. I think that's great. I should call the final episode that if they do start to naku again. Yeah, okay, while the credits are rolling, I guess that's a good time as well to say that this is it for today. And yeah, we'll have another stream tomorrow and another stream on Thursday. And then, as usual, on Sunday. I do wonder, though, if we will finish before Sunday or not. I'm kind of, I don't know. I wonder how much longer this will be.